Hey there everybody, Professor Cloud here with our next episode of Professor Builds the Satisfactory. We should be able to finish the aluminum factory today. We've got casings up and running. They are running very smoothly. The very next thing that we're going to do is make sure that we have transport for those casings so that at the very least we can have radio control units continuously producing. While we're then working on the remainder, which is the sheets, which then get turned into heat sinks, which then get turned into cooling systems, and we need those for the remainder of the turbo motors. So let's go ahead and jump back in. Let's make sure that we've got everything set up that we need to at the hub, head back over to the aluminum facility, and let's get this done. Really looking forward to it. All right, so we are at the hub, and you'll notice something new here. It's a drone port. So I have gone ahead and set up a drone port here. This is what will receive the aluminum casings from our aluminum facility. My plan is to run directly from here over into this storage unit to collect the casings. I'm probably going to move them at a Mark II probably. So let's see, Mark II. Okay. There we go. So that'll feed directly into this facility. It's already got summer sloops, so it should be. It's all. And as a matter of fact, it's still producing with what it has at the moment. In fact, let me go ahead and. Oops. Yeah, I've already put in another 50 in here, so it'll go ahead and keep producing more. We only need enough. I think it's. Is it? Actually, let me see how many turbo motors we have. Okay, so we're up to 42. We need about 110 then, so we're going to need about 55. Actually, hold on a minute. We're going to need 220 radio control units in order to complete this. But the turbo motors also require cooling systems, hence why we need to absolutely go back to the aluminum facility. So this will set up the transport for the casings. Once the turbo motors are done, we still need radio control units for pressure conversion cubes that then eventually get turned into nuclear pasta. So that's still going to have to keep going, which is exactly why I'm using the summer sloops to try and get as many as we can with as few materials as possible. In the meantime, we do need to power this. So where is my closest power pole? It's over there. Okay, we'll use this one instead then. There we go. Okay, so this is now powered up. I have already changed the name of it to Hub Collection, which, you know, makes sense. At least I think it does anyway, that way. I have also been, of course, collecting tickets from time to time. I don't have any at the moment, but I currently have 67 in my inventory. So you know what that means. It means that we finally need to get another statue. And we're going to get the Silver Hog. Actually, you know what? No. Let's wait. I'm going to wait and see, because at this point, we're so close to the end, I feel, that I'm probably not going to get that many more. So let's see if we can hit 100 and get something with 100, rather than just getting one thing with 50. And then not being able to get anything else. I'd rather get the biggest thing that I could. So let's do that. Okay. The next thing, I want to go take a look at how many of the oscillators we've created. Because if you'll remember, Actually, we don't need to. I need to bring sheeting over here. So, okay, we don't need to do that. Let's go ahead and head to the aluminum facility and get moving. So, I'll see you there when I get there. All right, I'm making a quick pit stop here at the old aluminum facility. That right now, I mean, it's not doing anything. And really, I can actually tear it all down. However... well, let me do this. Well, I don't need to do any of that. I wanted to see if there was any casings actually in the storage. There are. Okay, so let me take those. And we're going to take those with us over to the aluminum facility. Put them into the drone so we can go ahead and start getting transport of these casings. At some point, I will need to come back and tear all of that down, I think. Okay. So one of the things I did right at the very end of the episode is I did stand up an awesome sink here real quickly just to take all of that extra silica and ingots that we had in these two storage units so that we can eventually tear it all down. But in the meantime... let's go up to the top floor so we can take a look at what we need. So this is producing the casings. The casings are now in here. I did set up a storage unit with a bunch of fuel. We should now be able to go ahead and get this put in the drone itself. Oh my god, I've got to have a freaking... portable miner. I'd completely forgotten about that. Okay, I'm going to have to go back to craft... actually, no, I don't. Hold on. I forgot there's a ability here that I didn't even realize I had. Crafting bench. Actually, this isn't the crafting bench that I need. Hold on. I need the equipment bench. Equipment workshop. There we go. Okay. Now I can put in the drone. Alright, so we want... this port, destination, hub collection. Okay, so 2,285 meters. And it's going to take 19.76, no, 69 per trip. And this is, oh, that's usage per minute. Okay, never mind. I am going to upgrade this to a Mark II. Just to play it safe. It should have enough, but I'm probably going to need to go get some more from over on the over at the oil fields. In the meantime, I don't know how many was in here. I'd like to have known, but so I'm going to go ahead and fill that up. I can get rid of this now. Okay. All right. So, what is next? What's next is sheeting. So we need 10 copper ingots to create 3 aluminum sheets. Well, it's a 1-to-3 ratio. But it's 10 per minute. And we have a remaining... crap, I don't remember how many we're producing at this point. I've done completely forgotten. Alright, let me take a quick look. We've got a total of 8, producing 60 per minute, so that's a total of 480. These are taking in 90 times 4, which is 360. Okay, so we've got 120 left over, which means 4 assemblers. Yes, 4 assemblers. All right, so let's go ahead and stand those up. Maybe. Come on, game. There we go. 4 assemblers. And just like before, do this. And that. Actually, I don't need the last. Yeah, I don't need the last one. Okay, so that's 120. Okay. All right, so that connects all of that. Now we need to do the copper, and just like we did with the aluminum scrap, we'll do lift holes. I'll do those afterward. Okay, now we just need to bring the copper in to make this happen. Now, the great thing is we already have copper right over there. We brought down copper alongside the nitrogen to create the cooling systems. So what we can do here is create everything that we need . Oh. Every time. Run it into this storage unit, which I'm going to move. And a small storage unit should be fine. Then what we'll do is we'll put a merger right here. And here. And here. Except for that one's now off. There we go. Alright. And they're only producing 30 per minute. Okay. So we're going to get 120 per minute of this as well. Okay, really? Okay, how did that get somehow off? There. There we go. Now, the great thing is, we have plenty of space then to create heat sinks. Now, unfortunately, I don't remember the recipe for heat sinks. So, let's see. We can either do... Oh, that's right. We got the alternate... I had completely forgotten about this. So we either have to create copper sheeting with additional... Let me see something. I need to bring the copper over anyway, so let me see. Because I don't remember. I really wish I do, but I do not remember how much copper is coming down. It's a Mark II, so at the very least it's it's no more than 120. Or is it 240? I can never remember. It's 120. Okay, so we've got 120. Each one of those take 10. Okay, so we could create some copper sheeting as well, and that way we don't need to send rubber over. What I'm trying to avoid is sending two different resources over at the end of the day. Because we're already sending rubber over in order to create the cooling systems. And of course we're going to have to output the heat sinks down to here to create those. There's no... I'm just trying to reduce the amount of crisscrossing of belts. Alright, so let's take... Whoa. Alright, let me just do default. Alright, let's stop right there. So we now need to... Oh, I was getting ready to say, where are the holes? Like, I know daggone well I did the holes. I did go over further. At this point, I don't care about symmetry. I just want to get all of the pieces that we need for Phase 5. Alright, if we put... and make it a Mark II, like that, and then put a splitter on it, then we can bring a lift down like so. Okay, so there's how we bring it in. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the 40 down the line for the 4 assemblers to create the aluminum sheeting. I'm then going to send the remaining, what is that, 80? To create copper sheeting. Because to create copper sheeting, I never did put in a freaking ladder. Let me put in a ladder here. because then we can create the heat sinks here without any problem. Okay. All right, and then that. Okay. All right, let's make sure that we're getting the aluminum sheeting up and running, which I know isn't working because I don't have the power. I haven't powered the assemblers. But they should all be getting... okay, where do I want to run power to? Okay, your power pole is there. So if we put one here and here, and then run from here to there. Okay, there we go. Now what I need to do is put in a couple of constructors. Which for some reason I cannot put in alignment with the assembler. How? All right, whatever. Oh, shoot. All right, crap. All right, maybe I can do it this way. Like that, and then put copper sheeting. Take in 20 per minute, which means I could actually do 4, but I'm only going to do 2, and they're going to produce 10 per minute. And then we do oops, nope. We do an assembler. This will be heat sinks. So they need 37.5 per minute and 22.5 per minute. We're producing the 20. Okay, so this is perfect. All right, I'm going to do this to get... I didn't realize I had this much freaking copper ingot in my inventory. How are they still off? I don't care. Okay. There we go. Now, we need to get power to these two. I also need to get copper to these two. So let's do that. that. I can't see it. Okay, so now we're feeding there. Excellent. Now we just need to get power to the constructors, which should be, and the assembler, which should be easy enough by putting a power pole, say, here. There we go. Now we've got heat sinks. I'm going to put all of my... Oops, not all of my fuel. I'm going to put all of my fuel in there because I'm going to need to go get some more anyway. Alright, so now we need to take the heat sinks and send them down to the processor, the cooling systems production. So... I'm going to do this on a Mark II. And then Mark II down. And I'm only doing this for speed. Alright. Let's drop down and kill some nests. Okay. Excellent. Guys, I don't know if you've been able to pick this up, but I am going to be so proud of this by the time I'm done. And if I really needed to, I 100% could double this without any problem. Alright, I'm going to put a stackable here to start the process of raising it up and over. And there we go. Full production for cooling systems. Alright, I am going to go run and get... I probably should have done it right from there. Some more fuel, both for myself as well as for the drone port, because I'm not transporting it over in an automated way. Oops, that's not going to work. Look, it's not pretty by any stretch, but not a lot I have done in this playthrough has been pretty. This has been a very needs-based playthrough, and I'm fine with that for this run. I have plans for another run. I've been talking about it. I've already started doing some recordings for it. That will be a much prettier, at least I hope so anyway, a much prettier playthrough. Alright, so, whoa. No, what? I've just got this disconnected belt here. I have no idea what it's here for. But it's not... Oh, this was where the fuel was coming from. Okay. Or how we were getting the fuel over in the first place. Okay. I hadn't finished cleaning up. Oh my god, this is hideous. I can make this look a lot better. And add another 250 in power, probably. Alright, let me finish getting rid of this. Yeah, and I've never torn any of that down. Okay, so that's all done. At some point, if I need to, I can tear all of that down. Alright, how much have I got? I've got 100 in my inventory right now, but I need to grab more for the drone. I was really thinking this was going to be full, but... Oh, that's why. Yeah, it's not getting plastic very quickly. Huh. Oh, I see what's happening. I'm splitting it the wrong place. Yeah. Okay, so this is outputting plastic. And then this is splitting it. Instead of doing that, I'm just going to do that. Yeah, it was getting fed from it was trying to split off in too many different directions. Okay, that's why there wasn't enough, or wasn't more fuel here. All right, let me go back over. We're going to refill the fuel. The fuel storage unit. Make this a platform one. That's good. At some point, the drone will slow down because the storage unit at the hub will probably be full. Will fill up, at which point we can start offloading the casings. Where did I put that ladder? There it is. We can start sending some of the casings over to the fused modular frames for production. Because remember, we need those too. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah, let me keep 100. I think I actually have a few back at the hub as well. And I'm running around with a whole bunch of motors for some reason. Okay, I think that should do it. Now we just gotta wait. How many summer sleeps do I have on me? I have 3. There's 2 or 3 back at the hub that I could grab. What I'm thinking is maybe using them to craft the cooling systems faster. But the cooling systems are only going to be used for turbo motors. Once we get the 150 turbo motors that we have left for the milestone, we're done with turbo. Well, I say that. There's one other milestone if I wanted to get the achievement. Oh yeah, while we're here, let's go grab this Mercer sphere that's up here. There we go. Cool. Surprised we didn't get any sounds. So we've got some yellow lights, and I think it's because of the manifold system. They're not maintaining consistent flow into all of the machines. And it's the problem that I have with manifold systems. But, you know, it is what it is. There's only so much that I can do in trying to get this to work well. But I think it is working well. I'm very pleased with this. This looks good. All right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to head back to the hub. We're going to check on the radio control unit production and therefore the turbo motor production. I do want to make a quick stop, though, at the computer facility to get some more computers, because those are used for radio control units as well. Interesting. You know, Okay. Why is the outgoing... Oh, that's overflow. Okay. Let me take all of these, put them all in there. There we go. And actually, we'll make this just a Mark 1 for overflow. Because that should be a Mark 2 or 3. 3. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, let's head back. We're producing more water than we need. I don't think I'm surprised by that. I could probably remove one of the reciprocal pipes that are running out of the refineries that are creating the aluminum scrap. But, okay, here we are at the computer facility. And This is where we were crafting the assembly director systems. Oh yeah, let me turn that off. I don't know why that's on. I think we ran out of automated wiring. No. I had turned this off too. Okay. Really, I can turn off the supercomputer as well. Okay, why am I not producing any extra computers? I have no extra compute. Got it. I've got circuit boards for days. Alright, let me get rid of that. Alright, so it's now collecting, at least. I would have to re-situate some things. Like this, I think, needs computers, and I don't have... Oh, here, let me grab these. And if there's any computers in here, there are a few. I'll take those. And then that's just adaptive control units and supercomputers. We've got extra supercomputers if we need them. The one thing that I have not prepared for is the fourth item in Phase 5, what it's going to take to produce those. Because I just don't know. I mean, we haven't unlocked it yet. That's the milestone that we're in right now. So, alright, let's head back to the hub. I may decide to buy some computers. Oh, shoot. I needed to grab aluminum sheeting for the oscillators. Still only at 46. Because you're out of cooling systems. Okay. But you've got enough radio control units, that's for sure. Although you had stopped with radio control units. I don't have any casings on me. No, I don't. I do have 88 sheets, though. Let's go put these 88 sheets over in for the position oscillators. I think they're position oscillators. And see where things are over at the dark matter facility, because I think that's now where we're going to need to put our focus while we're waiting for some of this other stuff to get complete. Actually, let me go from this direction. And I'm going to do that too. Alright, so we got 44 super position oscillators. I was close. Alright, let me go put these aluminum sheets in here. Go. Diamonds. And then the time crystals are up top. We should have plenty of those. Oh yeah, dark matter crystals. Alright, let me grab that. We'll put those into the storage as well. Wait, there's no stoppage there. Oh, well, didn't need to worry about that. We had plenty. Okay. Well, we've got 44 of the 356 that we need, which means we need a lot more aluminum sheets. I'm going to need to grab as many extra aluminum sheets as I can. Thankfully, I'm putting them into storage back at the new aluminum facility, so that'll be something that we'll have to do too. That's it. This is going to be a short episode. I'm sure you all are happy about that. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't know what they were going to look like. That's very cool looking. Basically a 4x4x4 Rubik's Cube inside of an interesting shape. That's interesting. I do wish I had seen what the neural quantum processors looked like, but oh well. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this episode. We're going to need to start bringing all of this stuff together to move forward with nuclear pasta, the AI expansion servers, and then, you know, really unlocking this next milestone. Just out of curiosity. Okay, it only needs 4. Interesting. I'm kind of surprised by that, because they were doing... If you go from constructor to assembler, it's 1 to 2. From assembler to manufacturer, it's 2 to 4. I just assumed once we started getting to these really big machines, and the 4 for manufacturer and blender made sense, because they were about the same size machine. But once we got to these big machines here, I really thought that the summer sloop requirements were going to be higher. Let me see about these. Yeah, they're 4. Yeah, so we can legitimately cut in half the requirements that we need using summer sloops to get the 1,000 nuclear pasta. That's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay. Well, I need to head back to get more aluminum sheeting. So I'm going to go do that in between episodes. I'm also going to make a trip of aluminum casings from the hub here down to the fused modular frames. And then I will see you in the next episode, where we will continue to keep moving forward. Hopefully, we will be in a better position with, say, cooling systems and the superposition oscillators to do that. What I will probably do is let the game run for a little bit in between episodes to make sure that we do have all of the pieces that we'll need. And I will see you then. As always, if you have been enjoying the content, please make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and comment button. It really helps me out with the algorithms as I am pushing more and more towards trying to get partnership. So hopefully I will see you in the next episode. Talk to you soon.